Welcome, video number 2. We got cut off. Here you go. Rena, Leslie, come back. Welcome back, Leslie, LY. Welcome back. Because I hope the others who just came in, I hope they know to come back in. I think I put that on my email. I did put that in my email that if you get cut off. What happened is that I could not do a professional. I was going to upgrade, but my email, the McCullough Merlina at Gmail, is already being used at one of the companies that I had worked in, that Cognia. But then I have to ask Cognia to like take me off of there because they won't let me have a different account. You know, another, I cannot use my, I guess I need to use a different email possibly, but anyway, they won't let me have it. So I have to like have them take me off, and then I can have my own account now, you know, then upgraded. So that way I don't have a limit. I am an adjunct professor at Arkansas State University. When I use the Arkansas State account, I don't have a limit. I could talk to my students. I could talk to hundreds of students. You know, usually as an adjunct, you have like, I usually 200-300 students, and you cannot possibly check those. So you have your graduate assistant, you know, for every 25 students, you have, I have a graduate assistant. So I may have 10, 15 graduate assistants, and then I have a lead. So I only have to deal with the lead, and they check the papers, which is nice. I only just I only just look and see if they're checking it like not too easy or not too hard. So I have to make sure that they're consistent. That's what I do every week, to make sure that, you know, some of them are not too hard or not too easy to grade. But anyway, so 5 people in the waiting room. Let me make sure I admit all of them. Okay. So let me, Crystal is back. Admit all. Okay, there's quite a bit of us now. There's about 10 of us so far already. We usually have more than 10 every time. So that's good. And thank you so much for those that are always attending. For those that, like Leslie is one of my regulars. You always like the 2 Leslies so far, right? Leslie with an LY, yeah? And Leslie, yeah, Leslie right here. I just talked to her. So Leslie with LY. Leslie.
Doc, hello everyone.
Any interview yet or anything? Have you gained anything from all these Zoom meetings? Have you learned something? Have you learned a little bit? Huh?
Yes, Doc.
That's good. Okay, thank you for attending again. Okay, remind everyone again, Leslie, and like what you teach and where you come from, so they'll remember, because we have some new people here.
Hello, I am Leslie Interia from Sorsogon City, Philippines. I am a science teacher for 15 years, and Brinkley High School already hired me.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, yes.
Yes, I with Maria.
Maria, yeah, Maria will be there, yeah. So when I pick up Maria, you're just gonna be riding with me then. Come over to Salem. It's 4 hours drive, but it's fun. It's fun in a drive. We usually stop at some Asian, you know, restaurant or something, get some buffet. And then go to some Asian mart to buy the groceries. But, you know, I'm so excited for you. Where are you in the visa process? Have you found a visa sponsor? Because that should be step 1, is find a visa sponsor.
I already contacted Green Heart, but and my interview with them will be on July 23.
Okay, good. Because once you get that, then you get to the, Leslie, what was that? DS something. Was that DS 2019 or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
DS 2019.
2020. What was it? DS what?
DS 2019.
2019. Okay, that's what I thought. The DS 2019 is what you really need from them. But they are strict too. They have to have an interview with your visa sponsor. And then once you get that DS 2019, then you have the main interview for, then you can apply for your J1 visa. the US Embassy, right? And that's what Leslie did immediately as soon as you got. And see, the thing is, the situation is with her, for example, Leslie, I want to give this as an example, if you don't mind, Leslie, is that schools here, they have their budget, right? And the budget for this coming school year, which is, where you're covered, is going to start at July 1. So Leslie is one of the lucky ones where her school is actually going to be paying for her visa expenses. I suggested that. I said, our teachers are going to be poor. They're not going to have the money to just pay for it. So if you can at all spare, so you have some money like in your PD account, which is really Title II funds. They don't know, for schools that have never hired any Filipino teachers or foreign teachers, they call them, they don't know which funds. So I said, use your Title II funds, which is your funds for PDs. And then you can, if you can help them pay. And so, but Leslie have to pay first because they cannot release the money until July, after July 1st. So I actually had to change the date to July, from June to July, Leslie, and send it to Tina. Because otherwise, when they get audited, they get in trouble because why are you, paying last year's or this year's money? And so it's no big deal. I just changed the GU, it's GU, and I just put it GUL. one letter. So anyway, just so you can get reimbursed. So when you get here, they will reimburse you for your expenses. So if you borrowed money or whatever, then you can pay that person, and hopefully you didn't use a loan shark where the interest is so high. Did you do that? Is that what you use? Did you use no? Okay, good.
No.
Okay, but some schools, unluckily, some schools do not have the funds to do it. Like they already had allotted all their money on plans, on things to do with their teachers, that they don't really have extra money to pay. Like Jessica, I think your school may be one of them. They do not have the budget to do that, Jess. So he already told me. I said, well, try to check on your Title II funds because I said my superintendent said something about we do not really want to, if it costs us money, they don't really want to mess with it. And I said, well, you need to mess with it. And maybe if the teacher is willing to pay for it, the teacher will get her money back within 3 or 4 months. So you will be able to recover because of the difference of the pay, and you are already here. So that's worth it. But the school will be open about that. They will tell you we cannot reimburse you or we can reimburse you. And some of the visa sponsor would actually, would say, hey, you have to, but if it's a requirement from the visa sponsor, then they have to, or else that nothing will happen. They just will not, they will just not continue the employment offer. So what did it say? Leslie, what did it say on your yours was GEC, right? Did it say anything about they have to pay for the expenses, or what did it say anything about that? Like the school has to be the one to pay, or no?
No,
It doesn't. So that's not part of it. But I know of some visa sponsors that are actually saying, the school has to pay. So you have to go around that, but if the school does not, you'll have to pay it. But you will recoup your money pretty quickly. So you are able to pay for that money, less than 6 months. So anyway, but I would, if I were in the Philippines and I was teaching there, I would be worth it to me. It would be worth it to me to come to the US and get the good money, because if you come here in a J1 visa, now at first I was really pushing for the H1B visa, because that way you'll have a green card and so on. But it takes forever for J1B visa, for the H1B visa. And so that will be your step 2. So once you get here, your stipulation for J1 visa is that you have to have a 2-year physical presence requirement where you're supposed to go back to the Philippines. So when you're being interviewed by both your visa sponsor and the visa, the US Embassy, you need to make sure you show that yes, I am coming back. I am sharing some, twice a year, you have to share some international cultural things that you are learning from each other. And so you need to think about that one, that yes, you are coming back. But really, in reality, there is a waiver that you can pay. I think $160. There's a waiver because of the shortage of teachers in the US. You can pay that, and I have that form. You can ask me for the link. And then you pay for that, and then you're staying here. You don't have to go back. And as long as you have your school is, gonna be renewing your contract, you have to have a job in order for you to stay. But if you don't have a job, they'll send you back. So, you know, the lesson to that is you have to be good. I mean, you cannot be saying, well, I'm an American already and I don't have to be good, because your contract might not be renewed. And if it's not, then you're out of luck. You have to go back. And so anyway, so and I know you know that we always do a good job. You know, we always go above and beyond. So at least I know of Filipinos that way. I mean, I'm not stereotyping. It's just, it seems like it's very common for us to think that way. That if I'm given a job, then I'm going to do the best I can on that. At least that's what I believe. That if it's worth doing, it's worth doing well, right? All right. So I've talked to Renee, talked to Leslie. Now, so Leslie with a Y. So you said that your interview is July 23. Or
Yes.
your visa, okay. So after that, you get your 2000, your DS2019, and then you can start your J1 visa, okay. So after that, after you get your you get here, then you have to wait at least 90 days before you can start applying for your H1B visa. That's your green card, and I can help you with that, because if you don't, my brother-in-law works for immigration, and he said if you do not wait 90 days, you will be flagged. You will, I mean, he will not process yours because he's assigned to Mexico. So there's not going to be any conflict because he's only processing Mexican application. So anyway, so but he said that Merlina, make sure that you tell them that they have to wait 90 days. And so anyway, so after that, like for example, the Helena bunch, they've been here nearly a year. So I already sent them the link to, like, you need, if you're going to want to process your, you know, H1B, you can do that. And then they can also do the J2 visa for their family. So if you have a husband, wife, children, I don't think you can do parents. I wish you can do parents, but you can't. It has to be a spouse or and children. Then they go J2 visa is what you use, and then your visa sponsor will also help you with that, and it costs you money, because I know that one of the hang on, let me answer this. One of the principals calling me. Can you talk to each other while I'm doing this? Hey, Miss Hamilton, you get my email? I'm good.
Congratulations to Ma'am Abigail, Ma'am Leslie, at saka yung isa. Sana
Thank you po,
all.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Oo.
Thank you po, sir.
Gi-add na ko si Ma'am Leslie Cabuenas. Actually, baka
Yeah.
naman, i-add mo ako.
Ma'am Les.
Nag-reply ka,
Ma'am
sir.
Les, share mo naman. Ma'am Les,
Oo.
share mo naman sa amin. Paano ka nakakuha ng employer?
Actually,
Oo.
ma'am, I sent all my, the resume, the cover letter, everything to Dr. Merlina. And
Ako din.
it was really her who helped me, not just me. I think also Ma'am Abigail, my aunt. Ma'am Abigail is my aunt. So it was actually Dr. Merlina who helped us from the very beginning. So nag-send kami ng letter sa kanya, ng resume and everything. And then all the schools that have interviewed us, it was really because of her na na-interview kami.
Mga ilang school, states or school na
Actually, sir, I only applied in Arkansas and I was interviewed twice by Lee County and Barton. I got hired for both schools, but Barton offered me the job offer first, so I accepted Barton. So the same thing with Ma'am Abigail. She was like offered at Barton, at Lee and Brinkley, but then Lee hired her first, so she accepted the Lee offer. So it was and we couldn't have done this without Dr. Merlina, because from the very start, she was really helping us with the interviews. We were really doing like mock interviews before we got the actual interviews. She was actually helping us with that. And also the same with we were like submitting it was really like we were submitting first a like long cover letter, and we did not get any invitation for an interview. So she told us to like shortened our cover letter para mapansin
Yeah.
agad because administrators don't have enough the luxury of
Time to
time to read
read.
all of those things that you have stipulated there.
Exactly.
So we made it shorter. So right after interview kami. So and
pala namin,
Congrats.
ma'am, na ano, na
Matagal na
balikan
pala.
yung aming cover letter.
yes po, and actually prayers po talaga.
Oo.
Sorry po, hindi ako naka-camera kasi na may severe allergy ako ngayon na nakikinig lang po ako.
Okay
Yes
lang,
po.
ma'am.
I'm really praying
Unless
po.
there are cases ba na H1B yung offer? Mga ganyan.
Offer yun
Or-
sa inyo, H1B or J1?
May mga H1B offers naman po, but in Arkansas, we did not encounter such offer. It usually J1 lang po talaga yung in-offer nila. But for J1 kasi mas madali, unlike sa H1B that it will really take a long time for you to comply all the needed requirements. There were a lot of requirements if it's H1B visa, unlike J1 na medyo madali lang. And I don't know but some I know some of here nga na nabigyan ng H1B visa. I think it was ma'am, I forgot her name, but she told me that she has been like given an H1B visa, but I don't know what's the process.
Is that under Dr. Merlina also? Or other agency, I think?
I think it's from other agency, ma'am. But I really suggest to like do not apply sa mga agencies because they really ask for like kanang huge amount of money.
Opo.
Yes po.
Loan sharks daw sila.
Mabuhaya yan
Yes
sila.
po. Yung mga yung mga kakilala ko po, sabi nila like hinihingan sila ng around 1 million pesos. But
Grabe
the
naman.
agency will like process everything from the interviews. They will help you get an interview with the visa, with your plane tickets and everything. But you really have to pay for like 1 million, and it's a lot of money. I
Oo,
can
yung
just
Okay
agency
lang
kasi
naman
sa
yun, ma'am,
atin
kasi
sa
sabi ni Doc
Pilipinas,
Merlina, after
mahal.
90 days, mag-apply daw kayo
yeah,
ng
you can apply naman po.
H1B.
Yes po.
Talaga? May
Wow,
ganun?
praise God. Ang galing niyo po.
Praise the Lord. Sana all.
Yes.
Oo. Sana all, ma'am. Ikaw na yung sunod. Bukas na daw.
Prayers po
Agad-agad.
talaga. I think it's
Dasal-dasal.
Claim it, ma'am.
Claim it
it's
daw.
really a
sabi.
miracle for me. Talagang milagro po talaga because I'm not that fluent in English unlike ni Sir. But it's really,
Uy,
during the
ako
interviews,
fluent
it's really
in
like,
English. Uy, anga nga ako.
I think it's
Joke
not
lang.
about the fluency. Really that, I don't think it's a big deal for,
Nafe-feel kasi ata nila from your, how
yeah.
the way you speak
Yeah.
from the heart. Oo.
Yes, sir.
Yung
That's it,
pangkatrio
sir.
na great talaga ng mga
Oo.
salita, yung Slums in Tondo, Manila.
And
Yes.
May napansin lang po ako dun sa ating cover letter. So dapat kasi hindi natin ilagay yung mga for example sa akin yung 2 masters ko. So dapat isa lang kasi parang sa kanila parang nati-threaten ata sila na meron kang higher degree. So
Oo
if
nga
ever na
po.
ganon, isa lang daw ang ilagay kasi nangyari yun sa akin parang they thought na mas malaki siguro ang babayaran nila sa akin kasi
Yes.
meron akong so careful lang po tayo sa mga at saka lesson learned natin.
Yes po.
Naku,
Yung
mapura
higher
lang nga.
degree po, wag na lang ilagay yung medyo na lang.
Ganun pala yun.
Mas natitreten.
Yung bachelor
Sorry
degree
po
mo
sa
na
word
kasi
pero
yeah,
parang ganun yung na-feel ko. Parang every time na nag-apply ako, hindi lamang dito sa Arkansas, pero sa iba din, hindi ako na-hire kasi nilalagay ko lahat ng mga ko doon, mga yung mga educational attainment ko.
Attainment.
And, opo.
Actually, it would be my first time to
talagang
apply
sila.
in Arkansas.
Ma'am Leslie, tingnan mo yung cover letter ko. Burahin mo nga yung iba doon, Charles.
Ay, ayun. Ma'am, wag mong burahin yun, ma'am.
Yes
Ma'am Leslie,
po.
wag mong burahin.
Ano po kasi, sa cover letter
Just
siguro
patawa lang.
mas dapat di I mean, we should talk more about how you deal with your students. What are your achievements with regards to like the classroom management with your students, or how did you improve your teaching learning process inside the classroom? Do not talk more about your achievements, like your
Yes
personal
po.
achievements.
Yes, correct
Yes,
po,
so
ma'am.
parang
Yes.
ganun po ang laman ng cover letter po. More
Dapat
on
po
like,
saleable
yes po.
po siya. Saleable po siya doon sa
Yeah.
school na ano. Not
But
only
is
introducing yourself, but you sell yourself to the school itself.
who is
Yeah,
English major in that group, in our group? May
ang galing
major
po ni
po
ma'am,
sa
I think
English.
it's ma'am
English.
Jessica, I guess, is an English major, and she's
Jessica, ikaw
very
pala ang
fluent.
sagot.
Yeah, very fluent po.
Ala, dili.
Magaling yan si Ma'am Jessica.
Oo,
Sikat
ma'am,
na
Ma'am
sikat
magaling
yan
Jessica,
sa ano sa TV.
kaway-kaway ka naman for
Oo.
us.
Hi, ma'am.
Teka,
Oo,
lahat
galing.
naman tayo dito magagaling. Charot
Yes.
Oo
lang.
naman,
Oo.
syempre.
Siyempre, Pilipino pa ba?
Yes
Si,
po.
We
si
are
Ma'am
Filipino.
Leslie and Teria.
Ma'am Crystal, saan
Kuya,
ka
ay po ni Ma'am
ngayon?
Leslie, kay Kuyog sila ni Ma'am Christine Quezon. Sana
Yeah,
all.
okay, I'm back. I'm sorry.
Saan ka ngayon?
Well, it is about you also. It is about some of you coming to Helena, those teachers that are hired. I hired 6 in that school that I'm helping. And so they're wanting me to help. And so that was this principal. So it's really wanting the teachers to be here and by July. And so I said, well, I don't even have their names. So if you give me their names, then I'll know if they are my folks, if they hired from my list. That's easy because I've already communicated with you. But if there's from somebody else just directly applied with them, I would not know their information. So like, for example, with Leslie, I knew Leslie from my list, but then her partner, Marissa, was not on my list. So they gave me Marissa's information and I've been communicating with Marissa. So, but she's one step behind Leslie because Leslie got in immediately. But anyway, so she's right behind you, right, Leslie? You've been communicating with her?
Yes, Doc.
Okay.
Yes, Doc.
So what did I miss while I was gone? I was talking in the other room. What did I miss? What y'all talking about?
We talk only about all the processes, how they get the job, and
Okay.
that's actually those.
What's the
and
secret?
Also how to write those cover letters, how do they send
Yes.
it, and everything.
Yes,
So those
good.
are the processes.
Yeah,
Actually,
giving the
We're sharing.
giving a thank you note after the interview is really gonna, give them a good impression of you. Yeah. And some of them, I think I saw an article somewhere, or maybe it was a show I watched, that some people, like if you interview in person, for example, like offices, whatever, they actually will bring the letter already. And then they will put it in their inbox, so before they leave the building, they would put in their, the thank you note that's handwritten and all that. So it looks like you just know how thoughtful, because it's very rare anymore to get handwritten messages, because of the technology. We don't hardly use hand written letters. So anyway, but that's the point, is you're gonna have to be grateful and thankful of their time, and that will just help you a lot. So who did that? Those people that are coming here, did you do that? Like, because I suggested.
Yes, we did.
You did that, Leslie. Good job.
Yes.
So what did you say in your letter?
I just thank them for like having an interview with me, and I really appreciate the time that they have given to me. So I just like that.
Good job.
and
Well,
and I was not expecting them to reply, but they did, and they
Yeah.
said, "Oh, we are also happy to have you."
oh, that's so nice. See, and that is the thing, though, because if you are in my list, for example, they will give me some feedback. They would say, "Oh, she really answered so well." Like they brag on Leslie, like she knows her stuff, and all that. She knows her strategy. She knows how to answer the question. We're really impressed with her, and all that. And she's very pleasant. We can tell she's a caring teacher. All this great stuff that they say, which gonna make it big.
Hello, Doc. Sorry for
Janina or
interrupting.
Janina Martinez,
Doc
welcome.
Marlena.
Hey, some of you need to mute. Everybody mute yours if you're not talking to me.
Dr. Merlina, excuse me, sorry for the interruption. I'm going to leave for a while because I have an interview actually
You
after an hour.
Good
I
luck.
mean 1 minute.
Yeah, you can just watch the video later when I send you. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
thank you
thanks,
so
Renee.
much.
I appreciate your
Enjoy.
appreciate your
God
participation.
bless everyone. Hope to
Okay.
see you
Thanks,
there.
sir.
No problem. Okay,
Good
Leonora.
luck.
Okay, bye. Hi, Leonora.
Hello, Doc. Good
yeah.
evening.
Good evening. You have attended before, right? Or this is your first time? You have
Yes, but I am sorry to say that last Friday I was not able to attend because of my class
Okay.
in my master's degree, special education.
Okay.
That was my last meeting with my professor.
Okay. Welcome. How did it
Yes.
go? Did your meeting go well? With your last,
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so tell everybody.
Yes, I learned so much. I learned a lot from you, and
Good.
I feel that Dr. Merlina will help me also, like what Mom Leslie said. You are very helpful to us, especially to our teachers in the Philippines. So I hope I will be one of them.
Yeah. Well,
in the future.
no, tell us about what your area again. What do you teach? Special ed. You said special ed.
Yeah, my bachelor's degree is computer studies.
Okay.
And master's degree, educational management, and 48 credits for doctor in educational management. And currently, Doc, I am now in Master of Arts in Special Education.
She's an
Hopefully
overeducated girl.
hopefully to finish my thesis.
Okay, well, good luck on that. Well,
for the next semester.
Special ed is also hard to find here. There's a shortage of special ed, there's shortage of science and math. So if you teach those subjects, you should, an ELA, we have a lot of our ELA actually getting hired. And so anyway, I have a few ELA folks that are coming. So anyway, but I can't wait for us to get together. Especially if you're in Arkansas, I can't wait for us to have a get together and have like an orientation type thing, where we all meet and so on in person. So I'm looking forward to that. I look forward to having y'all. So anyway, so good luck on yours, okay? All right, so I talked to Jessica. Okay, Leslie, I talked to, how about Lainey? Lainey, talk to us. Can you hear us? I can hear you. There you go. So Lainey, where are you in the process? Have you had an interview yet? Uh-oh.
This is my third time here.
Okay, yeah, I remember that. Yeah. How about interviews though? Have you gotten interviews since we met, since we talked?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
I am your instruction on School Spring in Arkansas. I am now focusing on Arkansas because I have applied in Arizona and New Mexico, but as of this time, I am getting more links in Arkansas.
Yeah, well, they also know me in Arkansas. I have name recognition in Arkansas, so they would say, "Oh, Merlina, so you're in Merlina's list," and all that. So they would, so some of them would actually email me and say, "Hey, Merlina, give me a specific name. Don't give me a list of a bunch of people. Give me a person that you really know. We will be good." So if you've attended this will be an advantage for you because I got to know you. I will be able to say, hey, she had attended my Zooms and I'm really impressed with her and all that, or him. And so anyway, so it's a good thing for you because then I don't want to lie and make up something when I've never met you if you've never attended. Right. And so that's why I encourage people to attend because your participation will also help guide our discussion on where we're going to be going, right? Because it's pretty fluid, it's pretty organic. I just kind of go with what, the needs are. Strategy is always another thing that we need to talk about because a lot of times the principals would actually base their decision on how much strategies you know. And so anyway, so that's a good thing for you to know some strategies like cooperative learning. Do you know how to do your grouping thing? How do you, make sure that you group your gifted kids with other gifted kids, because research is saying that gifted kids actually learn better from other gifted kids. You cannot group the special ed with a gifted. That's too big a range. They're going to be frustrated with each other. So you need to be closer in range. Things like that. Those are things that you want to know about differentiation, about how to group kids, how to maybe differentiate the process or the product, for example. and then they will ask you about how do you motivate kids when they are unmotivated. So actually they don't want to say lazy kids, but there's some of them that are not motivated, they say. And so you need to know the answer to that. Who can tell me an answer to that? If you have an unmotivated kids, how can you answer that? Can somebody, anybody, giving you a test over here? If not, I'll answer it for me. If we're running out of time, we'll go on the third one, and that will be our final one. But anyway, so anybody? Nobody will answer that? Go ahead. Okay, try, Jessica.
It is not one of the questions I had when I had an interview with Mr. Toby, but it is quite related to his question, which is how do I get the students' attention when they are not engaged to the lesson. And then that was when I mentioned the small area in my classroom where students can assess what they feel, how they feel that day, or what their problems are, or something. It's like a space where they can, a time when I as a teacher, when I give my students a time to, a space, and then a time to assess his or her feelings. So I think he's touched with what I have mentioned. Like he said that giving space to your students is very important. It is not always, because not all students are ready for the lesson. You do not expect every student to be ready with every lesson, and that is I think
you answered well.
Yes, sir. Yes, so.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said she's answered well. I mean, she really knows the strategies and so on. That's why she impressed me. And you will know who they choose before July 1. He said they have to finish the interview and people are on vacation or whatever. So he said, we're going to continue to interview in our list. And then, but she is really one of my strongest candidates. So that's promising. That's promising, right?
Thank you for, thank you.
I think a lot of times when you give space in the room like that, they call it here learning station. And so I always had learning stations in my classroom when I was teaching elementary, for example, because I've taught all the grades except 10th and 12th. When I taught elementary, especially 4th grade, that's my favorite grade in elementary, because they can already write essays. But anyway, so what I did, what I actually had, it was a self-contained classroom. So I taught all the subjects. So I actually had a publishing, more of an ELA table, where they write their poetry, their writing, whatever. And then I had a science learning station where we actually have a class pet. Every year they would vote on a pet that they want. 1 year we had a fish, another year we had rats. That was horrible because it smells bad. Anyway, and 1 year we had tarantula, but what I did with the science station is that they have this table and they have all the science things in there, whatever our, unit is, I'll put my science books related to the unit there. And then I have I had a clipboard and I put down there, like when they go visit there, they have a form that they fill out, like the observation using their science process skills, what they observe that the animals is doing. And they could even write a letter in the perspective of this animal. If this animal could talk to you, what do you think this animal would say to you? Creative things like that. So that was very motivational for them because they can't wait to go there. They have to finish the work. They cannot be just hurrying to finish their work because they have to do a good quality work before I would tell them, okay, you're okay to choose your station now. And there's a limit. Every station has a limit of 3 people, for example. And so I have a chess, I was a chess club sponsor. So I have 70 some club members. So I have my giant chess set, for tournaments. So I had it set up in my chess station. I had a big room. Anyway, and then, so on the other one, I have a math station. And then the last one, I had this comfy, like a bookstore type thing where they have bean bags and comfortable thing and a carpet there where they can lay down and they can read and do all kinds of things. So it's kind of fun place for them. It's not just sitting in a classroom like this. They're actually going to be doing something fun for them. And so I did not have not a single behavior problem. I mean, that took care of it because they were involved. When I'm doing something, I'll do a mini lesson, then I would do something hands-on. I do it, and then we do it together, and then finally I assign it to them. That's called gradual release of responsibility. That's GRR strategy. So you always do it together. You always guide it first. I do it as a teacher, and then we do it together. So that way I can help you all. And then before I would give you the independent work or a paired work or a little group work, before I give it to you, I need to make sure that I have really guided you and showed example. If I had an exemplar, a lot of times I would actually save an exemplar from last year. So that way I could show it the next year's kid. I would say, hey, this was last year. This is what they did. That doesn't mean you're going to follow it. You have to come up with your own, but this is how it could look like, And so anyway, so that motivational thing, you say something about strategy, which you did, which is good. And also you also say something about knowledge of students. I talked before about national board core propositions, and the first two are knowledge of students and knowledge of content. You have to know your students in order for you to have a lesson that would be relevant, that they will actually enjoy because you know them. You would use them as an example. If you know kids that are big into spiders, big into flights or whatever it is that you use that as an example. I used an example before about this one child that was really like a bully or get in trouble a lot. And I used the flight lesson in order to get him, so I can form a relationship with him. So I had my knowledge of students and then my knowledge of content of what I need to put. I have to check with my principal and my team, make sure that we could switch flight unit in the beginning in order for me to get this person. And anyway, and it was successful. That child is successful now and still can communicate with me, and a friend on Facebook. So, anyhow, so that's and I did not. Now there's another thing on Facebook. I did not befriend, and most of the schools have this rule: you do not friend your students while you are teaching them. Like elementary for sure, no, but high school, I usually said I will accept you when I'm no longer your teacher, or safely when you're in college. When you're already in college, I will accept you. But the rule of some high schools is like you cannot befriend any students. So when they're in college, well, nobody can stop you then. You can be my friend. Of course, those kids that like use bad language, foul language, forget it. I will not even accept it. I'm sorry. But because I'm literacy specialist and I'm really my focus is literacy, I cannot stand the wrong spelling and all that, So it's like, oh my goodness, yeah, I taught this kid. What an embarrassing thing. So sometimes I would unfollow them. I mean, they're still my friends, but I just do not see their page. I think I mentioned that before. That's awful of me. But anyway, I told on myself. Okay, so I did Lainey, I did Leslie. Let me see who else have not talked. I want everybody. Okay, Abigail. Tell us about where you are, Abigail, on your visa process. Do you go with Abigail? Do you go with Abby?
Abby, Doc.
Abby. So Abby, where are you in your visa process?
I'm waiting for my schedule for interview, which will be on July 1.
July 1. And is this
Yes.
is your visa sponsor, or is this the embassy already?
Embassy.
Oh, good. You're nearly there. You're in the last step. So good luck on that. And you let me know, okay? If you pass it and if you're already coming, you let me know.
Yes, thanks, Doc. We're planning, actually Leslie and I are planning to go there together.
Good. If you can do that, that's really, especially if you teach at the same school or nearby. Well, especially if you teach at the same school, because it helps the school that they only have to go meet you once instead of having to go back, because I think your school would be about more than an hour from Little Rock. And so, or Memphis would be closer to them. But anyway, it's still about an hour drive. And so then if you're gonna, somebody has to pick you up. On Leslie's case, I will be the one helping with that. But anyway, and I know Helena's bunch, I will be for sure doing that. And I think Leslie, though, I think their school would want to be involved in meeting for sure, because they're so excited about you and Marissa's coming. Yeah, I figured, Mr. Guthrie, he's so excited about that. It's my first time, all that of having a foreign teacher. Everybody's excited, and they kind of got everybody, really looking forward to you all's coming. So yeah, you'll be like a little celebrity, I guess. That's a good thing. Okay, so Leslie, Abby, good luck on yours, and then Crystal, also Lee. Okay, I talked to Leslie. Who else have I? There's a user here that I don't know I don't have a picture. Who is that says user? if you want to talk to us, you're welcome to talk to us. I told some people had asked, can we invite others for the Zoom? I said, yeah, you invite anybody you want. Because some of them, they would watch first and kind of feel comfortable with me before they start sending me things on their paperwork to be on my list. And that's okay. I felt like that was my audition to them, I guess. But it's okay.
Merlina,
It's okay.
it's
I
Layla.
also, huh?
It is me, Layla. I am using my laptop, so I have no picture and I cannot show my face on the camera right now because I have a severe allergy, but I
Oh,
am
I'm sorry.
listening and I'm taking notes on what you're talking.
Okay, no problem. So I talk about National Board